ことあるかい？放浪寮に変わったやつがいるって。
今夜はムーンパイにしようかな。今夜はムーンパイにしようかな。
Wait, what? It's Electro, but why is Clorind down here? Wait, let me go back. Let me exit and go back in. Oh, whoops. I gotta save it. Let's save and leave. Yeah, it's Electro. Clorind is Electro. Why is she down here? Seems like a bug, obviously. Oh, that's why. Florinda's there because she's given to you for free. Oh, okay. That's why she was in the others, because who would pick... Did you get a free... yeah, it's not as necessary. Obviously, you could still do it, I guess. No, actually, maybe not, because you were given these... You have to pick here to use them. How do I pick a support cast member? Like, there's an achievement for doing that. There's the alternate cast, but how do I pick a support? Or do I have to do it outside of this? Let's see. Uh, I don't get how I pick. This is in the performances. That season can be invited by friends. But how? How do I invite them? Yeah, how do I do supporting? Oh, here we go. There it is. Okay, okay. Um, uh, I guess I'll pick Marissa because I don't have a Marissa. Ooh, I can pick his Union too. You get another healer. Uh, I don't have her. It's like she 2 as well. Goddamn. She's Constitution 0. Or it's okay. Let's pick his Union. There we go. Okay. Oh man, I wish I had her belt a little higher, stronger. She's super useful. Oh, I see. So she's it's 19 of my own, and those supporting cast count as 1. Okay. Hey, let's do this shit. Let's see how it goes.
"見つかってしまった」
よく見てお
ほなせっふっそりゃ金魚やで。
わめくがいい。ここだ。かせへっ、ここだ。くだらない。
さらばよ出てこい。花火見いひん。行くぞ。
やこれが海山を滅
せっへいやはあ気ぃつけるで。さあへっやっせっ祭りの開始や。
消えろ。せ無能。へっせ
全員あの世行き。お客さんが来たみたい。
邪魔をするな。役払いよく見ておけ。
超拡散形態。
西洋鍋かせせひゃっ無駄だ。せここだ。はっ無能。ここだ。
渚のリン
6308式ユニット安全距離確認。
炭になるがいい。
吸引テスト開始。無双の風。
消えろ。せ無能。せ
無論構わない。 今こそ出陣の時。見切りました。
安全距離確認。7号式モジュ
稲光、すなわち永遠なり。やっはっ、そこて逃げ道はあります。
分身の術ドドン。
無我の境地。はっ、てやったとはっ、
金魚やで。超拡散形態吸引テスト開始。
裁きの雷。
ドドーン。今のなしでそりゃやっふっ。
登録。
安全距離
稲光、すなわち永遠なり。やっせい。
Oh, that's so fucking close by 2 seconds. Ugh, so fucking annoying. Like, I could redo it. It was close enough. I know the how to do it now, but I don't care. Oh shit, this is a defense one. God damn it. Crap, I shouldn't have. This is gonna be kind of annoying.
5時の炎。
おっ行こう。いってらっしゃい。
厄払いおとなしくしな。動くな。投降しろ。
ひはったほはよっ。
俺が守るよ、炎の盾。
はっ地雷発除。
おいおいさよなら。あなたの運命はすでに我が手中の糸が絡む。断罪のない
悪を見極め影を狩り尽くす。蒼天
黒き翼よ昼夜を分身の術。さっうったよっお陽源の蝶。
潔白を証明する時だ。影を打つ。
姿を見風向きにしてひよっおいたよっおよしはい夜の権限。
邪悪を狩り打つ。
上倒れす出てこい。さよなら。ほったよったおい
蒼天悪を見極め影を狩り尽くす。
おいよそくたよ
道はありケア危険太陽の方向を無我の境地たっはっふんそこた浮世の夢のごとし熱実
じゃあ行くよ。
稲光すなわち永遠なりはっはっ見切りましたわけ山の地どれせ耐えられるか逃げ道はありません石煙に葬られよせはっ
じゃあ行くよ。
響け格のねどれ裁きの雷ここより弱滅の時てっと
私の合図を見てから行動するんだ。
邪悪を狩り撃つ行くぞ歯食いしばれよしっかり立ってなおとなしくしなこれは必要無駄な抵抗を潔白を証明する時だ手加減な武器を捨てろ役払い耐えられるか嫌いパチジョ投降しろ影を撃つ
ち参上。
ジェンダム発射。風が立つぞ。ロックオン。
夜の源源。
俺が守るよ。
ロックオン。今だ。消え失せろ。
料理の時間だよ。話が通じ。
炎の盾。
断罪の名において
飛ぶか。今だ。ロックオン。ロックオン。今だ。
権限。
おとなしくしな。八方の風幅っここより登る。貫こう。
ルオパー火よ。
やこの程度か。中風本にキス。
熱々でしょ。師匠の技を邪魔をするな。
渚のリン。いや凡庸だね。面白きことをしに行くぞ。どよめく神学火炎を刻む。
権限落ちるが
極骨有限なる来店。呪言 律流この天下で裁くせっ加速するぞせいやはっはっさはっとざっよ月のように永遠な貫こう呪言律流振動の権限直律流直聞け太陽の方向をアクセル全開響け白のね
じゃあ行くよ。
律流呪言はっやっとはっ落ちるが
Yeah, so I would have gotten all stars if I did, if I redid that one to shorten it by 2 seconds. So, but even with the new thing, I think you only need 9 or 8 or 9. I forget what it was for the potion. But even still, like I don't know, depending on the battle, because like obviously I was off by 2 seconds. My rotation wasn't great on that one. I did fuck up on. So it's like I could easily see myself doing it. Also, did I get? Oh, did I press X? Yeah, I'm not actually sure. Did I get a star in the last one, or was I too late? Yeah, Kuki defeated the most enemies because I got buffs for electric overcharge, and so she was easily able to set up a lot of overcharge. So I guess the overcharge triggered by her ring of death. Yeah, that team was pretty good. Perfectly designed against the Cryo guy. Because both Cryo is especially fucked over by Electro and Fire. And that was pretty much my entire team. Okay, so yeah. 3 I fucked up on. I could have done it if I wanted to. Let's see, did I fuck up on Act 10? Oh no, I didn't. Okay, so I did do it. Okay, yeah. That is the problem. Is if you're button mashing like the basic attack button, when the turn ends, you know you might accidentally skip it because obviously it said, "Oh hey, you won." Cool. Yeah. Okay, so I've been streaming for 40 minutes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, total performance duration 11 minutes." I was like, "No," but yeah, I get it. Okay, cool. So it is cool that they are introducing new rewards for getting good stars. It does kind of suck for new players because, you know, getting stars in those it's going to be tough. Like, even with my cracked teams, it's like a lot of it is still up to luck. Okay, oh, of course a Ganyu on. Gotta get Ganyu. I'll get you. Okay. Just leave the dudes alone. I think I bought a dude or two. It's like that one's a nice pose for Venti. Same for Kazuha. I actually use Kazuha, so despite me skipping his first banner, thinking, I'm not going to get him, he's a dude, his utility is insane. It's just like, goddamn, he's so useful.
遠出の前に私はいつもハウス・オブ・ハースの子供たちに私が家を離れた後多くの子供は、あの子たちはうまく隠し通せたと思い込んでいるようだがただ私が言っていないだけのこと。
Well, true, like, you assign them homework. Does it matter when they do it? Not really. You know, obviously, you know, doing it early is, quote unquote better. Because if something does come up, if there is an issue, because if you leave it to the very end of if you leave it to the last few days, but you get sick, then you're kind of fucked, right? And you'll miss your deadline. So ideally, it's better to do it ahead of time, get it out of the way, so you can take your time and, and do it correctly. But I am also a procrastinator, so I'm more in the camp of ignore it until it's too late, or until it's almost too late, then do it real quick.
ここの小説は悪くな。わっぱよ。一つわらわに作ってはくれぬか。
あんたさえ良ければ、うちがさ、あんたも知ってるでしょ。念のため、
Yeah, I already got the Dea and Venti one. The Venti one was a humongous pain in the ass because the only way you could clear it, so you had it was actually, yeah, a pain in the ass for both parts. So there's a traversal section which sucked dick because what you had to do is you had to glide to two platforms. Like essentially, you had to glide across a big chasm, and you might think, oh, okay, well, it's not too bad, right? Like he can shoot himself up in the air. That makes it easy. No, that's not the hard part. It's because they put lasers in between it. So you're supposed to glide from one edge to a platform, then from that platform to another platform, and then across to the final thing. And there are lasers in between every single section. And the sucky thing is you can't tell where the lasers are going to appear until it's too late sometimes. So when you first start, I was like, okay, there's the lasers, cool. And you might think, oh, okay, I'm going to do my... Like, you gave us Venti for a reason, right? So I'm going to, use it to propel myself upwards to have a better shot. But it's like, no, actually, using Venti's updraft actually fucks you over more than not. So it's like, so you have Venti's updraft, but they make it so they design the track so that you don't need it. So you might think, oh, okay, I'll use it, but if you do it, you'll probably fuck yourself over more than if you didn't. Because there's a bunch of areas where it's like, especially on the second platform you have to jump to, they put a laser that go parallel to the platform above it. And if you're standing on the platform, the lasers just go over your head harmlessly. They don't hurt you at all. So the idea is to get to that platform without coming in from the top. Because if you come in from too far above the platform, you'll go through the lasers. And if you die, you die. You have to restart the entire thing. So what you're supposed to do is from the second platform, because the second platform is slightly below the first one you jump to, you're supposed to just like walk off the first platform and glide down to the second. So, and what really sucks is that these lasers are moving constantly. So they plan the arena so that you go from one to the next very quickly. Because if you pause, then the laser will be in a bad spot for you later. So you have to keep going quickly or wait until the lasers go on another rotation again. So it's really fucking annoying. And then of course, yeah, if you get hit by a laser once, you're pretty much fucked. Like, you can get hit by it once or twice, but like each time it does a significant chunk of damage. So like 3 hits of laser, and if you're going like through a laser, like especially if you're going down to the second platform, and you're just going straight down into the laser, you're going to take enough ticks of damage just trying to land on the platform that you instantly die. So it's like, you're just pretty much fucked. And then after the second platform, you're like, oh, cool. There's the ledge. Cool, I'll just zip over there real quick. And so after you jump, then the lasers appear. So after you jump off the second platform to go to the other edge, then the lasers appear. So you don't even see the lasers until it's too late. And so you can't plan ahead for that shit. So it's like the kind of thing where like, yeah, you're going to die because you just weren't expecting that. And when they appear, there's a conspicuous opening in the lasers that you're obviously supposed to go through. But as you glide towards it, that position shifts. So it starts in the top right or top left corner and then moves downwards. And downwards makes it easier to go through. But still, it's like fucking annoying as hell. Because it just fucks you over if you don't know what's going on, which just kind of blows. And then you had the battle, which again is gimmicky and bullshit. Because on the field, there are 3 torches. Now, they're not like torches, like, they don't actually have fire on them, but they have like this little, like, essentially a fire rune. So you can essentially swirl with it without popping it. But the point is that what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have your burst essentially be on top of the torch and suck the enemies in. So the enemies get sucked in, you swirl with the fire emblem on the torch, and now your burst is infused with pyro, and it does a lot of damage to them. You know, it's swirl, it's pyro and swirl and pyro and swirl. And for the first round, it doesn't matter too much. Like, like your damage can do enough, you know, because like as long as you're relatively close to the torch, it's fine. You swirl your pyro, and you're good. The problem comes in for the second and third round of enemies, because both of them have shields. So you fight the big cryo, the shielded cryo slimes, and then the third round you fight an abyss mage. So for the cryo slimes, you have to have the burst, Venti's burst, be directly above a torch. Because if you have it close to a torch but not directly above it, what you might get a melt. You might get a melt you might try to swirl the fire, but the problem is it gets doused by the cryo within the cryo slimes. But if you have the torch directly above, if you have the burst directly above the torch, you swirl enough pyro so eventually that your burst infuses with pyro, and then it melts the cryo slime shield super fucking quick and kills them. Because I missed so many times because you can't control exactly where your burst goes. It's kind of like a best guess type thing. Like, I think it auto targets, so like you have to try to like bait the enemies into a location so that when you do your burst, it happens to be above a torch. But if it's not, then you're fucked, because you won't be able to, in your time, through the entire fight, you have to defeat these 3 rounds of enemies on a timer. And you don't have enough time to do an extra burst. You were given enough time to do 3 bursts, and that's it. So you have to kill them on 3 bursts. So basically, if you don't get that pyro infusion on the burst for the second and third wave, you will fail. Because you will not melt their shield, you will not melt the cryo slime shield or the cryo abyss mage's shield in time to kill them. And the abyss mage is even worse because you have to bait him, because like he's one that doesn't really get sucked into the Venti's burst, so you have to really bait him close to your burst so that you can get enough, and also still have your burst above the torch, so that 1, the burst is infused with pyro, and 2, the abyss mage is close enough so that you're constantly swirling fire onto his shield to melt it. And once the shield melts, then he gets sucked into the burst and he dies. But like, holy shit, it's really fucking annoying because of how much of a pain in the ass it is to aim Venti's burst. Like, if it was like, oh, okay, cool, like, because you might think, oh, okay, the enemy is right in front of me, the enemy is right next to the torch, I'll do the burst, but then the burst is too far off to the side or too far beyond. So I don't know if it's like, if all the auto-aiming does is just point you in a direction, but it will always be like 10 feet in front of you, in which case I need to be 10 feet behind my intended target and have the enemies be line of sight to that thing. So maybe that's it. Either way, I finally did it, but it was just really frustrating because the lasers just fuck you over. You get fucked over for not knowing the pathing of the lasers. And then, basically, for Venti's combat challenge, you get fucked if you miss any single burst. Well, not any single one. I think the first one has no shields. Like, it's a bunch of hilichurls with wooden shields, but you can still kill them easily enough. Oh, yeah, that's it. So basically, that's what it is. It's so when you do your burst, at regular intervals, a bomb will appear on the field. And so the idea is that your burst is actually not what's doing damage at all. But the burst will suck in the enemies, and then when the bomb appears on the field, it'll get sucked into the burst and explode, doing shitloads of damage. Now, for the first round of enemies, it's a bunch of non-shielded enemies. So the bomb will kill them anyway. So you just do your burst, they get sucked up, bomb will kill them. The problem comes from when you're fighting the shielded enemies, because if they have a shield, the bomb won't kill them. The bomb will just take a chunk out of their shield, or maybe destroy their shield, but they'll still be alive, and you don't get enough time to do more bursts and more bombs. So it's like, basically, yeah, if you fuck up that. So you have to use Venti's burst to get rid of their shield so that when the bomb appears, it'll get sucked in and kill them. And that's the same thing for the mage as well. So it's like very annoying. It's just like, yeah, you just have to succeed, which is just frustrating. So anyway, but that is beside the point. I am... yes. Okay, I have some resin. Could just... Oh, fuck it, let's just go and... Let's just go spend my resin real quick. I'm actually working on some Blizzard Strayer stuff, because... One, we know Skirk's coming up, and two, my... Let's see... Pretty much, yeah. I do this. No, I just finished up Imaginarium Theater. Ooh, actually, let's do this one. I just finished Imaginarium Theater and was talking about how much of a pain in the ass it was to do Venti's Envisioned Echo. Because holy shit, is it annoying.
姿を見しっかり立ってな。おとなしくしな。花火見いひん。せっ。やっへっ。たまやー。これは必要な武力。夜の権限。ふっ。さあ。
Oh, it's got a little too long. I don't think. But yeah, I was saying just how annoying the lasers getting in the way, the lasers not being visible until you jump for the second platform, the positioning of the lasers. You'd think with Venti you would use his updraft to help you with the gliding, but no, actually using his updraft usually fucks you over more than it doesn't. Because if you do it for the first one it doesn't matter, but if you do it for the second one, you'll usually get fucked by the lasers that are going over the second platform, and you can't just instantly go over it for the next one, so it's like really fucking annoying. And then the combat one was just like, if you miss even one of it, well, if you miss the burst, if you miss the pyro infusion on his burst for the second and third wave, you just fuck up. You fail. You cannot succeed if you don't get pyro infused for his burst on the second and third round because of the shielded enemies. So it's just like, God, that's fucking annoying. So I had to do not only the gliding thing over and over again, but I had to do the I had to do the whatchamacallit. I had to do the combat one over and over again. Oh sure, what's up? Think about getting a Noxa or Castries. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's still useful. As a Harmony one, it is still useful. I think it'll be kind of okay. I forget what specifically did. I knew it gave energy regen for one. I don't think it's Ronmei's best because Ronmei really benefits from break effect. So you really, really want to get break effect. So Ronya's is good for Harmony, but Ronmei is a kind of a special type of Harmony where it's like meshing Pogs, or if you get the 4-star one, the Gallagher one, that would also be pretty good for her. Because you essentially want to stack her break effect, because she provides a buff to the entire team based on her break effect. And I think you need like 180% or something like that for the max buff. So that's why Bronya's is fine, because you get like a 10% or 12% energy regen. But like it gives, I think, crit damage as its main stat, which is like, well, Ronmei doesn't need that because she doesn't give a shit about Ronmei doesn't give a shit about that kind of shit. Oh shit. I cleared it. But yeah, so Ronmei is kind of a weird thing. Other Harmonies can benefit more. Like if you get Sparkle could work with Bronya's, because basically you kind of want like the energy regen is flat out good. There's not very many sources of energy regen. You can only have the rope, or your light cone. Like, that's it. That's the only way to get additional energy regen, is light cone or the rope. So having a light cone that provides it as a bonus is pretty useful. But I think the main set is crit damage, and so it's like you really want a crit damage scaling. You either want a harmony that really does a lot of damage, so crit damage actually matters because their damage matters, or you want one that uses crit damage to do additional buffs, which Rania, obviously, so light cone. But then also Sparkle also is crit rate. There we go. Oh, let's see. I can do it. Cool. So yeah, there are some considerations for that type of shit. Like, if you have nothing, but again, I think if you have Meshing Cogs, that's fine. I think Gallagher's one. Oh, because one, I'm not sure exactly what her kit is like, so I'm not sure. Well, first of all, she's also 5.7, so she's not even the next patch, she's the patch after, so I have time. And just thinking about that, oh, I know why. It's because next patch, the Cook Girl is going to be insane for freeze teams. Like, if you put her in a freeze team, you reduce cryo and hydro resistance by 55%. So she's like Nilo in that regard. If you have a team of only hydro cryo, then yeah, Escoffier. If you have a team of only cryo hydro, you do. Oh, actually, that's not terrible. Nah, it kind of is terrible. If it's only cryo hydro, it's a 55% resistance reduction. Plus, she heals, so it's great. Like, it's like right now, I have in my freeze team Ayaka, Shenhe, Fiorina, and Barbara, or Kokomi. But realistically, Kokomi's not the best healer for Fiorina. Fiorina's just too good for buffing and for hydro application, so I still kind of want her. But ideally, I should swap Kokomi with a Barbara, simply because I could. Simply because if I do swap for Barbara, I can do a burst. When I do my burst heal, I get my shitloads of stacks. So. But with Escoffier, she's a healer and a burst healer at that, so she would get insta stacks for Fiorina. She heals the entire party with her burst usage. Plus she can leave like food items on the ground too, so she can provide active healing. Oh yeah, she does. But she's still a DPS. So like, while Skirk is good, she's still a DPS. So you need good supports. And god damn, those are good substats for how shit the main stat is. Yeah, so she's the mainline DPS, and the problem is freeze teams suck. Like, freeze teams just blow. Like, they do so little damage. And like, C1 for Escoffier gives a 60% crit damage bonus to freeze teams. So if you put her on her team with only Cryo Hydro, their cryo damage does a 60% bonus crit damage, which is like insane. So she's a ridiculous freeze buffer. So like, not only is she reducing resistances, but she increases crit damage. And of course, if you're a freeze team, you're running Blizzard Strayer for the 55% crit rate bonus, because you get 40%. You get 20% bonus crit rate for cryoed enemies, an additional 20 if they're frozen, so a 40% total buff. And with 2 cryo on your team, you get 15% crit rate. So it's essentially like the Natlan artifact set, where it's like, oh, if you pop, Night Soul Burst, you get a 40% crit rate buff. Well, Blizzard Strayer's like, yeah, if they're frozen, you get a total of 55%, which means you don't even need crit rate. You never need a crit rate hat. And so you go crit damage on the hat, and then with a Escoffier giving you another 60% crit damage on top of it. Essentially what it does is it makes up for the fact that freeze does no damage. So like, basically the reason why freeze teams kind of suck is that they get no bonuses from reactions, and so it will just limit them. Because all the damage has to come from them, and unless you start popping out really powerful cryo and hydro DPS, freeze is going to always kind of suck. So Scruffier is kind of like really going to buff that shit. So I want to get her, but if I'm going to get her, then I want to make sure my freeze team is good. And it's fine. It's serviceable. Like, obviously I don't need this much crit rate on Ganyu because she's not a... If I put her in a freeze team, she wouldn't need that. She has a crit rate hat right now, just to get her to 60%, but she's also not in a team that does it. Well, that's the thing, is Ayaka teams... I mean, Ayaka is good because of her ridiculous cryo application, but the problem is that freeze in general just doesn't do a lot of damage. So, like, if you... And you also... Like, one of the utility things about freeze is, like, oh, if they're frozen, they can't attack. So it's like, cool, you're a little more... You're safer. But in, like, timed combat events, that doesn't really help. Because it's like, you're on a race to output as much damage as possible, and them not moving doesn't help you that much. But yeah, like my Ayaka, see, she's on a freeze team, so her crit rate's shit. And I gave her a crit damage hat, but her artifacts aren't amazing. Like, realistically, I don't need this much crit rate on. I wish it rolled more crit damage. This is just shit. Like, it's a crit damage hat with absolute dog shit on it. Yeah, the problem is it just rolled too much crit rate on it. Like, some parts are okay, but like, I just don't need 7%. I just don't need 7% crit rate on everything on the Blizzard Strayer set. No, I mean, it's fine, right? Like, so with that 55% bonus crit on top of that, it'll be 87%, which is fine. I'm not overcapping. But obviously, I could do with a few less rolls in crit rate and a few more into crit damage. It's better. So, yeah, basically that's why I'm kind of like farming that out. Yeah, I mean, she's not terrible. I was kind of hoping for a higher than 200% crit damage. That would be nice. Overall, it's not terrible, but like the fact that this is such dog shit, like the stats are just absolutely terrible. The only thing that's actually good for her is attack, and is flat attack. So, and this is the other one I had, which is actually crit rate with attack percent and crit damage and elemental mastery. Like, that's fine. But it's not great for freeze teams because I don't need the crit rate or else I'll definitely overcap. So it's just kind of hard to find. Yeah, because I keep getting crit rate ones. Where's my... Here. So, like, yeah, I either get crit rate or nothing. So I only have one crit damage headpiece on Blizzard Strayer. I have 3 crit rate ones, and then a bunch of not either. So it's like, it's tough. Because I usually end up having this be my goblet be the offset piece. So it's not even I can make this the offset piece because I definitely do have more crit damage offsets. But getting a cryo onset goblet, which is like just as hard. So yeah, it kind of sucks. So, but like they were fine, right? And I didn't really use Ayaka that much. Actually, I did use her a lot in Fontaine. She was a lot of fun in Fontaine. I had my Fontanian freeze team because obviously I had I mean, it's not the worst. Did you already swap the available 5-stars you can get? Did you swap out like Yang King and did you like bring in Seele, Fushuan, and Blade in as potential winners for losing? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, Bronny's not the worst. She does have utility. She's kind of been overshadowed by other ones, but like an attack and crit damage buff for her burst is good. Being able to turn advance is situationally good. I mean, it's essentially what the Remembrance Traveler does is do a turn advance. Bronny is just more reliable, but she's more SP heavy because it's the MC turn advances. Oh, cool. Yeah, I got her, and I'm just like, she's fun and interesting to use, but I just don't know the best way to use her. Like, we'll see. I kind of got her for the Divergent Universe, because most of my teams benefit from the day side of Divergent Universe, but like the night side is all about all this like HP loss shit. I think I've been using her with Castoris, the Remembrance MC, Luocha, and Tribby. Oh yeah, Tribby's really good with her. So Tribby and Castris are really, really good paired together. So you want to pair those two. You want a good healer. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Gallagher's not the best because you're not going to be doing a lot of break. Like Gallagher and Rame are fine, right? But and Gallagher actually is good. Like I think I've heard people tweeting about how Gallagher's getting a little more play than Lingsha because how you can heal on attacking. So with Gallagher, I think it burst field out. When you attack, you get some healing back, which is good for Castoris. And that's why Locha is kind of good for her too, is that because she's obviously draining, the dragon's draining its HP every time it attacks. But if you get some HP back while attacking, that's good. Also, the fact that when Castoris does her skill, she'll drain her allies' HP. So having any of them attack to give healing back to the entire party is helpful to subsidize that. Whereas Lingsha, like, she has a little bunny go out, but the bunny only does emergency healing once every 2 turns, and otherwise she needs to do her burst and skill to heal the entire party again, which can have her fall behind, and you could get unlucky sometimes. Like if you had just done your, or like if your dragon is what triggers the bunny, because you're going to kill the dragon anyway. So it's like the bunny heals the dragon. It's like, great, awesome. Now I won't have you for 2 turns to heal the rest of my party when they're actually in danger after Castris does her attack. So yeah, Gallagher gets a little more play because anyone attacking can heal anyone back. Similar for Luocha. And Ho-Ho is also kind of fine too, because Ho-Ho has her, every time your turn comes up, you get some healing back. Casting Burst also heals the entire party. So, although some of that might be because she has her light cone. So if you have her light cone and her, then she's really helpful. But I think Gallagher's a good free-to-play option. I think it is. I think she gets a crit rate. I forget what I think she gets a buff for that. 100% sure. I forget. Is it a crit rate or crit damage buff? Yeah, I mean, that's something you'll just work on bit by bit over time. It's relatively easy to do. I think my planar relics are kind of shit for her. I didn't have any good ones, so I think I had to give her something pretty crap. So I need to farm more of those. Luckily, since I had Tribby, I was already farming Tribby's relic domain, so Castris also uses that set, so it was a little helpful. So I was able to double dip, and I had a little bit of a stockpile of those. But even still, like it's still not perfect. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it with that. Did my Imaginarium. Had to spend my resin. Because I'm going to be playing Clear Obscure. It should arrive in the mail later today. But then once I get that game, I want to play that game. So it's going to arrive later in the afternoon, maybe between 2 to 4 hours from now. We shall see. Yeah, fuck it. Sure, you can join. So yeah, should pop in arrive in 2 to 3 hours. But I'm gonna have that game. I'm gonna want to play that game. I want 100% no life that game when I get it. And I don't know if I'll be able to beat the game in its entirety before the end of the month. So I'm like, okay, shit, I gotta do Imaginarium now before the game arrives, so that I have, I don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, so I did that. Had some resin to spend, so I did a few more rounds of the. Yeah. So I'll be streaming shortly. I'm gonna play a little bit of Lost Odyssey as well. I'm gonna play the Temple of Enlightenment, which is very close to the end, which might take an hour, and then basically, or I mean, maybe I'll skip that. Who knows? But either way, I'll probably be on later in the afternoon to play Clair Obscura, and I will be streaming that. So yeah, I'm not sure when I will be streaming because obviously it depends on when the game arrives. Because the second the game arrives, I want to play. So they gave me the window of 1:45 to 3:45, so 1:45 to 3:45 Pacific. So 4:45 to 7:45 Eastern, I guess. But yeah, so I'll be playing that, and that's what I'll be doing today, tomorrow, and all the way until I'm. Wait, where was? Oh, there it is. Nice. Yeah, so I'll be having a lot of fun with that. The game looks amazing. Voice acting cast is insanely good. The story looks really cool. The gameplay is awesome. I always love turn-based games. And I think the QuickTime event aspect of it will be interesting because it seems like the QuickTime events... Like, someone told me that it takes inspiration from Lost Odyssey and Final Fantasy X. I can see the turn-based aspects, and it seems like how you play the game is very much like Final Fantasy X. And it seems like the only thing that supposedly was an inspiration from Lost Odyssey was the QuickTime events. But even then, Lost Odyssey's QuickTime events are like very rudimentary. It's just only when you do a basic attack do you have the opportunity to do a good job by holding your right trigger, and if you release at the right time, you can do extra damage or even apply special effects based on the equipment you have. So, cool. But that's it. It's only for your basic attack. Skills don't need it. Defense doesn't need it. I'm like, well, then it's not really much of an inspiration. I would say Super Mario RPG is far more like how the QuickTime events for Clair Obscura are going to be, because it seems like all your attacks have QuickTime events to do bonus damage, maybe, and also you have defensive QuickTime events to take less damage or counter or parry or whatever, which is exactly like how Super Mario RPG is. If you press your button at the right moment, you'll do a crit attack. I think you're guaranteed to crit if you press it at the right time when attacking, and each attack has a different timing. And then for defensive, same thing. If you time your defense perfectly, you do a guard. I don't think it eliminates the damage, but it definitely reduces it significantly. So, like, I'm not sure why they said Lost Odyssey. Obviously, it's whatever games they played, so maybe they didn't play Super Mario RPG. Super Mario RPG is far older. Like, it released in the 90s, I think, somewhere around there, or early 2000s, whereas Lost Odyssey released in the late 2000s, so either way. But that's why I've been playing that game. So, I was hoping to finish it before Clair Obscura arrives, but I'm like 100%. Essentially, it seems like I'm 100%ing the game. If I focused on just the story, I probably could have finished like yesterday or the day before. But like, I power leveled my guys, had them learn all the skills, did all the optional bosses, got all the skills from that. So like, my team is fucking cracked in that game. But there's one final optional boss to do, and then I would head to the final like dungeon. So definitely not going to be able to finish that today. So I'll probably just chill and wait for my game to arrive because it is getting close. I thought I might be able to play Temple of Enlightenment a little bit, but I don't know how long it's going to take. Like, it might take an hour, it might take longer, and it's one of. I mean, since it's an old game, it's one of those tough ones where you can't save anytime you want. You have to save at save points. So like, if I start the final optional dungeon, and I'm like halfway through and my game arrives, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I could stop. I mean, I could just find the nearest save point, but like, that might be super far away. Or, I mean, just stopping in the middle of the dungeon feels kind of weird. So I might just chill and just wait a few hours until it comes. Definitely looking forward to it. seems like a great game. Hopefully you'll enjoy it too. I'm going to go ahead and call it for now, and I will be back on later. Thank you all for watching.